Mergem să-i vedem pe Mimi și Alex Ikonn. Eu nu-i cunoaște. Par n-are cine sunt.
This train is the southern service to London Victoria. We are now approaching Cooksbridge.
People are like, they're a little too much in the clouds, right? But we're real people. We are exactly, we do our best to portray and really be the way we are to each other everyday life. So
just a quick word about basically bingo theory, the book that you had on your seat now, probably in your bag or in your hands. It was a labor of love, you know, creation of that book. It's not something I ever wanted to do, to be honest. It's just something I talked to my friends and they encouraged me and basically forced me to do it, and they're like, you have to talk about this idea more, you have to get it out in the world, especially because you do have a platform. And I said, well, I don't really talk about relationships and things. Well, I do once in a while, but it's not like my main focus. But once I started talking about it more and writing, it just kind of came out of me. Basically, I truly believe it's just information that was channeled out of me that needs to be out in the world. And it's very simple terms. I believe anybody who reads the book can get the basic point of what I try to, you know, the message that I tried to share in the book. But basically, the reason I wrote this book is because so many people would always look at Alex and I and our relationship and say, wow, like, I want to have Alex in my life. And I would look at them and be like, no, you don't need Alex. Trust me, like, you and Alex wouldn't work. You need somebody, you know, who's right for you. Not necessarily like Alex, because we're all so different. But because people kept saying like, oh, how is your relationship so effortless? I started really observing and thinking about, why is our relationship so effortless? Like, are we really special? I don't think so, because prior to Alex, I had a lot of dysfunctional relationships, and my longest relationship honestly didn't last more than a few months. So Alex was my first true long-term relationship, you know. More than 10 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think it is really crazy. And as you guys know who watches, and by the way, because I know it's a public funding event, who has no clue who Mimi and I are? Sweet.
Oh, amazing. There's actually
okay,
even more excited.
I'm really excited. I thank you so much for being here, because a lot of times you'll be like, what are these guys talking about? Why are they talking about like they know me? But we'll try our best to catch up. If anything, talk to the person beside you who's sitting really close to catch on some things. But we really appreciate you guys being here as well and being exposed to these new ideas. But in regards to just even our relationship and that whole idea of just being a partnership, because we really have been partners in life and in business from the start. And I think that's what really made us like a more of a powerhouse, is when we actually realized that we're so much more together than we are independent. Because before, actually a lot of people don't know, but the first 2 years we actually kind of struggled, because I got fired from the bank, and Mimi then quit from the bank. She's like, well, you got fired, I really don't want to stay here if you're not here anyways, let's try out these business ventures. Because that's a lot of things that we don't talk about or cover, but I think this is really important. Because a lot of times people think, whoop, and we're just like successful all the time, or we come from money. Like, as some of you guys know, that none of that is true. So, and in those first 2 years, we kind of try to do our own thing. So like our own businesses, our own ventures, but only when we realize that for us to work together and combine forces, that's when really kind of the magic started to happen. So with the bingo theory and why I think it's such an important theory, just in general, it's a theory, it's an idea. So it's just a way to get the conversation started and explore stuff. But it really allowed us to understand, and UJ, our friend and co-founder of one of our businesses called Intelligent Change, who we created the Founder Journal with, he was also a big kind of pusher to get Mimi to write this book, and so was I. And I'm just kind of saying my side, why I think it's such an important concept. I believe bingo theory is such an important concept and maybe we'll get into what it actually is most importantly to help people accept themselves for the strengths that they have. Right? So the whole idea of the bingo theory, you can really...
Yeah, I can quickly give you an overview. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the full detail, otherwise I'll be talking for 3 hours. But basically, we all have feminine and masculine energies within us. Some of us, whether male or female, will have feminine energy as our strength. And some of us, again, whether male or female, will have masculine energy as their main strength. So the idea of the book is figuring out what is your natural strength, and then balancing out the rest. I know it sounds simple, but in reality it isn't, because it's truly a lifelong journey, and it's something I've been doing for years, you know, when I became aware of it. And you know, the journey never ends, it's for the rest of your life. But the more conscious you are, the more you realize what you need to do, who you need to surround yourself with, who you need to be in a relationship with, and what you need to do as a career, because everything sort of becomes so clear. It's like, anybody I've given the book to personally, like friends, once they read the book, it's like before and after. Once you get the idea, it's like you start thinking, oh my God, is he masculine or feminine? Is she masculine or feminine? So you always started to think in a completely different way, because you just become aware to this new, very simple idea. But the reason I call it the bingo theory is because at the end of the day, if you want to have a great relationship, if you want to have inner balance, if you want to be successful at a career or business, you first have to create it here, within yourself. Only attract somebody who is just as balanced or just as disbalanced as you are. And again, the book will go in much more detail than what I'm explaining at the moment. But I'm just trying to give you this big, you know, short overview of this idea. But like I said, the inner balance is a whole journey.
This whole idea of stories. And masculine and feminine is a story that we, you know, as people, as society, have created over the years, and how we define what is masculine or what is feminine. So yes, there's already certain stereotypes that are attached to the term of what is masculine or what is feminine. However, most importantly, our society attaches still masculine to men, right? Those kind of characteristics. Maybe strong or logical, whatever, and women are more emotional. Well, and those are kind of stereotypes that a lot of society portrays into and imposes of what people are. And with this whole idea, how Mimi talks about in the book, is that masculine and feminine is like more of a yin yang. It's not, you're not like, if you're a man, that doesn't mean you're like 100% masculine, and as a woman, that doesn't mean you're 100% feminine. Right? There's actually, if you look at it, it's kind of like a scale. And you can be on all sorts of ranges. I'm sure you've met guys who are super feminine, you know?
Women who are super masculine.
Women who are really masculine, right? And of course, there's certain other characteristics, and what the book also helps you do is actually go through some of those points. It even has a quiz to help you figure out.
Yeah, a lot of you guys know me through social media. I want you to understand one thing that's really important. What you see on social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, all those things, is highlight reels of people's lives. A lot of my friends are YouTubers or Instagrammers. I know their real life. What I see on their Instagram or YouTube is not their whole life. It's just the best moments. So, why it's so important to understand this is because we all tend, me included, to compare our lives constantly to what we see on social media. And think, oh, well, you know, she looks so great, or they're traveling again. Trust me, people's lives are not perfect. Even if they're traveling, even if they look good on the picture that they're posting, obviously they're posting a good picture of themselves. Like, who wants to post a crappy picture, right? Like, it's people's highlight. People don't do it unintentionally to make you feel jealous or make you, it's just honestly, I think a lot of people use social media as their vision board of what they want to continue creating in their lives. So it's not like people do it on purpose. It's like your album where, you know, you put your best moments, but don't compare your real life, your reality, to other people's highlight reels. That's very important to remind yourself, because I still remind myself this all the time, because even I still forget sometimes. So I think that's very important to just remind yourself all the time. Okay, so the first part of the question is a dilemma that every creative person struggles with, and it's completely normal. So the idea where you put your work out and you're not completely satisfied, that is completely normal when you're a creator. any kind of creative musician, artist, Instagrammer, YouTube, because you are putting some work out into the world. The part of you that's not completely satisfied is a good thing, because it's that part of you that constantly pushes you to develop and grow. Otherwise, you think you're the shit, and it's just ego, right? You're like, oh, I'm the best. Let me just post this picture and like think I'm the best. But in reality, Alex knows this is the truth. My best videos are the videos that I almost didn't post because I was like, I'm not really sure. Like, I talk too much. I was too vulnerable, and then I put something out, and so many people relate, and you know, or like I'll put the caption in a picture that's a bit more raw and real. So that's part one. So that was completely normal. Part two, caring about likes or, you know, your growth and the speed at which you grow. It's a trap, and a lot of people fall in that trap. Even sometimes I do. But here's the important thing. If you don't want to fall in that trap, you have to do a lot of inner self-work, because if you don't, you will keep falling in that trap. And the reason you do inner self-work, like things like meditation or just spending time with yourself, journaling, asking yourself, why am I even doing this? Like, why do I have this Instagram? What's my purpose? Do I just want to have this Instagram so I feel good about myself when people like my picture? Or is there a message I want to share? So you have to focus on the message and the purpose of that, because it's easy to start just caring about the growth and the likes, because that's kind of what's out there, but that is a trap, because that's not the reason why you're doing it. There must be a deeper reason of why you're doing it, and you have to let that be the anchor of why you're doing it, because otherwise you're just going to feel disappointed, because there will always be people who are bigger than you. You know, look at Kardashians. Like, come on. You know, anybody who has like just 3 million will say, well, I'm not a Kardashian, like I don't get like whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to do you and care about not big audience, but even if you have a small but engaged audience, that's what really matters. And when you truly just matter about doing your truth and sharing your true story, trust me, people will come, people will listen, because you have to share your honesty, and then people will connect. If you just share some superficial image, people will like it, but it most likely won't grow, because there's so much superficial in the world already. People are just like, you know, they've had enough. So people that do grow and grow really fast, or have really maybe small but engaged audiences, are people who challenge themselves to bring the truth out, which is really, really hard, by the way, because you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah, and I think that's all artistry, as Mimi said, is that it is that vulnerability piece. And I think the most important thing to remind yourself is that we all start at zero. Like most of us, you know, especially in these new social media, you still have to, like, it's still zero. Even if you're a celebrity, you still have to do the work.
I'm just laughing, sorry, because I remember when we first started Lexi here and we had like 100 views on our video, I was so excited, and you were one of the people, Naila. She commented on the picture, like with this video and curly hair, and I was like, oh my god, this is so sweet, she's watching my video. Hard, and like things are just not working. It's like you're trying to do things, you're just feeling down, like something is just not working. You seem to be doing all the right things, but it's not working. That means like you're overgoing, like you're overdoing in one of the energies. So if you're masculine, male or female, maybe you're too masculine, like you're not taking care of yourself. You need to nurture yourself more, you need to connect with yourself more, you need a bit more downtime. Or if you're feminine, maybe you're just like too, I don't want to say too feminine, like you're just taking it too easy, like you're not gathering yourself to like just sit down with yourself, have an honest conversation. What are you doing with your life? Like, where is this journey taking you? So,
or relationships.
Or relationship, like, you know, I'm just trying to give you a general thing. So usually you know you're not, you know when you're balanced is when you just feel amazing. Like you just feel so good about yourself. And you see those people, because these are the people who are really balanced, and nobody's like 100% bingo. Like I said, it's a journey.
Yeah,
At some moments in our lives we're balanced, but then usually we get unbalanced and then balanced again. It's your journey, right? We're human. And it's normal to get unbalanced every once in a while. But you know when you're balanced, when you just like feel great about yourself, because it's like you're that winning combination. And again, read the book, I strongly encourage you, because it'll just go into depth. Now, second part of your question, did you want to answer that?
Yeah, I did want to answer that. To add to what Mimi has said, is that what makes a great partnership as well is when you actually do balance each other out. So for example, because of, and Mimi goes into the book as well, of our opposites as well, in terms of energies, I'm by nature, with feminine strength, I'm actually very relaxed. I probably wouldn't be as successful if it wasn't for Mimi. Because Mimi's very driven. Like
I can't stop.
She's just,
I want to be like Alex.
Yeah. I'm very chilled out. Like before this event, I took a nap.
What
Right?
is more masculine energy woman that's more attracted to like masculine energy men?
That can happen,
That can
and
happen.
that can work too. I have a lot of friends who are in masculine relationship. The book will go into that dynamic and how to keep it balanced. It sounds like that's a relationship you might be in if by the sounds of it, or potentially. So how can that work? Both parties have to want to work on themselves, especially if you're in that kind of relationship where you have the same strength. If both of you are in your overdrive, you're gonna have tension, you're gonna have problems. So for it to work, you have to work even harder on your feminine energy if you are masculine, or masculine if you're feminine, to be whole and balanced yourself, and your partner have to do the same for it to work together. Because you see, it's not 50-50, it's 100-100, right? So here's the thing that the book will go into detail and probably answer more of your question, because in order for me to go into more depth, I would have to know more about the relationship.
Yeah,
My pleasure. I always like to say, because of what I've learned from my own anxiety, depression, or all those negative emotions, they might not seem good, but they're actually there for a reason. So when you don't feel good, when everything seems right, it's because there is a reason. Something you're doing in your life is not aligned to where you need to go. Right? Only you know the answer. Only you can dig there and really find. Maybe you already know, you're smiling. Right? Okay, maybe you got your answer. Right? But it's there for a reason. So when I have that feeling in my stomach, or when I have that feeling where I'm like, everything's great, like why do I have this feeling? And if I really sit down with myself or go for a walk and just like have that space, right? Like turn off your phone, like stop distracting yourself, but really have an honest conversation, you'll know the answer, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. I think what everything you said is totally full on.
I can only relate because I've been there, right?
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
all I really want to add is just reiterate that point, because that is the truth in a way. As you said before, with the fear, a lot of times we ignore these emotions. Even for you being open and aware of these emotions is actually like, it's a really important step, because a lot of times people live in denial of these feelings, or they become victims of those feelings and blame something. But they're all emotions are. In life, one of the biggest lessons that I've had in life is that life itself is an emotional experience. It's all emotions. And emotions communicate to us the direction where we need to go. It's really, through evolution, it's a signal to us to how do we balance each other out or make ourselves feel good. And that's why we always have to be in life constantly experimenting, constantly trying to do different things. And some things, maybe you'll do something, it may not work. Right? But it doesn't matter. You're still always learning, and you're always on that journey. So I just encourage you and everyone as well, and it's what we do in our own lives, right? Still always listen to that voice. It's very important. So thank you for sharing that. It's very important, and take those steps needed. I think overall, and you by now you might be, some people are, oh, okay, again, vision. Just how early it is, how important it is to create a vision for your life. It's and also, like this, it's just really important to create that for yourself. Without that, your guidance is like really messed up. And I think a lot of people are just really not living their own lives. Something that really brings peace to me is that I really I'm open, I'm constantly working on myself. And in my earlier days, let's say, anytime I struggled is when I wasn't being true to myself, and I wasn't living my own vision. And that's why it brings me back to the bingo theory that I talked about at the beginning. I was trying to be somebody that was not. I was living somebody else's vision of the society created for me. So what I would say to my younger self is, to you, all you guys, start questioning reality. Don't take things at just the way they are because your parents said so, or Alex said so, or Mimi said so. Don't take that. You have to live your own truth, ask your own questions, and see what is true to you. right? And still be open, right? Because a lot of times when we're younger, we think we're the shit, we're so confident. With years, I'm just being humble, I'm getting humble day by day, or just getting reminded of, this is just a journey, this is what life is learning. If you had to all figure it out, you wouldn't be here, right? And that's why we are here, we're here learning stuff. And if you see it, life for what it is, and it's just this journey we're learning, we're not supposed to know all the answers, and we're just figuring out, that's the fun of it, you enjoy a lot more. So that will be my advice. It's just create a vision and just, you know, live day by day. Thank you so much.
I've been watching you since everyday Luxie.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I love you both a lot. My question is more pragmatic, but can also go into friction between you two or the couple. How do you manage your finances in the household? How do you plan the budget for the year? How do you, I don't know, put the budget for clothes, for trips, for, I don't know, gas and electricity? And how do you communicate between you, or who?
It's a good question, though.
I think it's a good question, but we have to be honest, like it doesn't really apply to us. What I mean by that is, like, here's the thing, right? From the moment we met, we had a dream of having a wallet that just has unlimited funds, right? That was our dream.
Meanwhile, we were super broke.
Right, we were super broke, right?
Using our credit cards
so,
and, you know, lines of credits.
So the reason I mentioned that, Mimi and I are not good at budgeting or planning. We were very fortunate in a position, it was something that we remind ourselves all the time, where it's a rare position where we have 50% in all our businesses, right?
And that was from day one. Even when we were broke, our accounts were shared.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's one thing some couples don't do.
But how did you communicate then, okay, I want to buy, I don't know, these clothes or this car, and the other one will have to lower their expenses?
Right. So it comes up in certain situations. Let's say if the partner buys something and you're like, that's kind of not fair, you bring it up. Right? You say, so, okay, so you spend this much money this month, cool, enjoy it. But how about next month, then I can do this? So it depends, right? Everybody's situation is so different. To this day, we do that on a different scale. Alex decides to invest in a company, and I'm like, where did that money go? You know, okay, cool, but how about that I take this kind of money and I do something else with it that I believe in? So it's, regardless of your financial situation, this is the communication that you have to have continuously. Again, if you decide to share your bank accounts, which means all of your money goes, you know, depending on, you know, it's tricky. Some person can make more. Like, for us, it's different because we are equal partners in everything. So it's like,
do you communicate in advance? Look, I want to buy this month.
Depends on what it is. If it's a large amount, we play at a different level because, again, we invest in companies. We like invest 30,000, let's say, in a company that's just a startup, and we're like, hey, you know, so these are the purchases we'll sit down and discuss. Alex will be like, hey, I want to invest this much, what do you think? I usually will say, let's invest more because I think this is cool, you know, again, more risky. But yeah, you have to have these conversations and you have to decide together and then create some kind of structure. Okay, if you can somehow automate it for the future, if it's small things, in these situations, what do we do? So if you spend this, you tell me, then, you know, so that it's equal and you feel that it's fair. Otherwise, there's going to be an issue.
Well, I'll be honest, we're not good people for this question.
We're not the greatest with budget.
Yeah, that's why we're really grateful for our new general manager, which is awesome. She like does all this stuff. It's so beautiful.
Yes. Everybody's got to be honest about what their strength is.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Gata și evenimentul. Este ora 12 și 13 minute. Numai ce am ajuns acasă, nu de mult. Și voiam doar să fac o încheiere pentru acest vlog, pentru că pe tren n-am mai putut să filmez, că era un nene care s-a pus lângă noi și era ciudat. Am citit un pic din carte pe tren. Eu am deja cartea aceasta, The Bingo Theory, dar nu știu de ce nu am putut să trec peste primele, nu știu, 20 de pagini. Am început-o de vreo 2 sau 3 ori și pur și simplu mă opream și nu mai puteam să o continui. Nu știu, mi se întâmplă așa la unele cărți, la unele lucruri și pur și simplu mă gândesc că nu e momentul, nu este să fie acum. Așa că nu vreau să mă stresez prea tare despre asta. Dacă nu-i cunoașteți pe Mimi și pe Alex Ikonn, vă las linkurile către canalele lor în descriere. Sunt niște oameni super faini cu o energie foarte pozitivă, niște valori de viață chiar faine, au afaceri care le merg bine, călătoresc foarte mult, așa ca un couple goals, life goals, everything goals. Nici ei nu au avut dintotdeauna această viață super bună pe care o au acum, dar au lucrat foarte mult pentru ea și au reușit să ajungă aici. Ce vreau să vă spun, cum ați văzut și în titlu, este vorba și de un giveaway aici. Eu am luat 2 bilete pentru mine și pentru Horea să mergem la acest eveniment și acolo am primit fiecare câte o carte, The Bingo Theory, scrisă de Mimi Ikonn, și pentru că eu deja o am, pentru că mi-am luat-o mai de mult să o citesc, m-am gândit să vă daruiesc vouă și are chiar și autograful lui Mimi pe ea. Dacă deja îi cunoașteți, vă place de ei, dacă vă place de Mimi și vă inspiră povestea lor și această teorie cum că fiecare persoană are o latură feminină și o latură masculină și ar trebui să fie un foarte bun echilibru între ele ca să fii cu adevărat fericit și mulțumit de sine. Despre asta este de fapt această carte. Vă invit să participați la acest mini concurs și eu să vă trimit cartea. Tot ce aveți de făcut este să fiți abonați la acest canal și pe Instagramul meu și să îmi lăsați un coment în care să îmi spuneți că vreți să participați, dar nu particip sau mă înscriu. Și dacă ați rămas cu ceva din acest video, din bucățelele ce le-am pus din această conferință, dacă vă interesează această carte și latura aceasta de dezvoltare personală și vi se pare interesantă această idee că toți suntem yin-yang și ar trebui să fim în foarte bun echilibru ca să fim fericiți. Și din păcate trebuie să puteți să o citiți în engleză, pentru că cartea este scrisă în engleză, nu este tradusă. Da, îmi lăsați un comentariu cu ce vă vine vouă prin cap dacă vreți să participați la acest concurs. Voi lăsa și în cutiuța cu descriere toate aceste reguli și până când va fi deschis. Și în coment să-mi lăsați și adresa de Instagram dacă aveți. Dacă nu aveți, nu este chiar așa o mare problemă, dar mi-ar fi mai ușor să vă contactez atunci când aleg câștigătoarele și să vă trimit cărțile. Bun, deja cred că a fost un video super lung pentru că am încercat să filmez cât mai mult pentru voi și sper să vă fi ajutat și să vă fi inspirat. Ne vedem data viitoare și până atunci vă doresc zile cât mai minunate. V-am pupat! Ciao!